Hey collective, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are. Welcome back to another reading session where we align, awaken, and return to the divine light within. As a new collective or a returning collective, thank you for being here. If you subscribed, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? You are a part of the collective, and you know we be going in these messages. You know we be going in these messages. Okay. For today's reading, I was wanting to do like a what's going on with the karmics versus what's going on with you here. And just from already, I'm getting the karmics are like trying to figure out what's going on with your love life. I'm getting they don't got nobody like you do. They don't got somebody like you do. You possibly have somebody in your life right now. Or you could just have options here. You could have you could have options if you like. You could have anybody if you like here. And I'm just getting these karmics. Oh baby, these karmics, they are in their mind about you. They literally are wondering who you're with, if you're with anybody. Like, they're wondering who you're with. And I'm wondering, why are they wondering who you're with? What are they even doing? They obviously don't have nothing to do, right? So we also have self-care at the top of the deck. So I'm just getting, you are over here taking care of yourself, putting yourself first as you should. And these karmics, they're paying attention to you, they're watching you. And instead of taking care of themselves, putting themselves together, instead of really just looking the part, looking up to par, showing up the way that they need to show up. I'm just getting, they could be all over the place here, basically. These karmas could be all over the place here. And this is a part of their karma, I would say. This is a part of what they would have to go through, because they wouldn't be karmics. They wouldn't be on the other side of things if they were people that was doing right, basically. Okay, so this is going out to all your haters, the naysayers, all that type of stuff here. How are they doing versus how you are to do here? Okay, so I'm getting these karmics naysayers. They could be trapped in things that they could literally get undone themselves. They could be literally trapped in jobs that they could leave and do their own thing. They could be trapped in relationships that are not really good for them, just basically creating more generational curses. Like, I'm just getting, these people could be in places and situations with people that they know aren't really good for them, but they choose to stay. Basically, these karmics are choosing to stay in places that do not bring them any change. That do not bring them any internal good feelings here. Like, these karmics are staying where they do not belong. That they need to leave, basically. Okay. These people are knowing that they're not really in a safe space in life right now. They know. Meanwhile, you are literally open to new avenues. You are open to new ways of doing things. You are open to new doors, new beginnings. You're not too attached to an outcome. Neither are you too attached to a certain place. You're not attached to a certain opportunity. You're not attached to a certain income, or you're not attached to a certain source. You have many ways to go about your affairs here. Meanwhile, these karmics, they're stuck in the same place, the same people with the same situations. Now realizing that they just need to cut the cord. Now realizing that they just need to take that step forward. Listen, they're not really feeling up to par. They're not feeling empowered, basically. They don't have that strength. They don't have that humility in them to actually be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna change because I know this is not good for me. They would rather stay where it's hurting them, because they do not want to seem as if they're stupid for making a better decision in their life, leaving what they want to go into new, leaving the old to go into new. They do not want to look like they don't know what they're doing, they're dumb. Because of course, when you take a new path, a new step forward, of course you're going to be looking for directions. You're going to be wondering what's the next best step, what's the next best move. And you know, these haters, they do not want to look like, you know, they don't know what they're doing, because they have to always know what they're doing. They always have to be the best. They always have to be, you know, at the top. They always have to be number one, which is why they're stuck in the same situations that they're in, that you left them in. Okay, they're not really feeling that you know, empowering energy for them to make themselves feel better. But they sure know how to make them feel themselves. They sure know how to make themselves feel better when it comes to hurting other people, though, it seems. Oh, okay then. Okay then. Oh, okay then. It's just very misplaced. Their empowerment is misplaced, basically. Their empowerment is misplaced. And you know, whatever they're going through, I definitely feel as if it's for everybody to see. Whatever they're going through, it's definitely for everybody to know, everybody to witness. Especially if they were, you know, talking smack about you to a lot of people, if they were downplaying you around other people, if they were not believing in you, not supporting you when they should have around other people, when they claimed that you guys were like this and whatnot. Yeah, no. Now they're gonna be put on blast for everybody to see them literally going through it, going through misery. I just heard. Okay, so yeah. And you stay one step ahead. I'm just getting, you be staying one step ahead, collective. It does not matter what it may look like to the outside or what it may look like to you. You are always one step ahead. Okay, you know what you're doing. You got the playbook. You got spiritual. You even got the spiritual playbook. Okay, you got it. You're actually, you know, happy. You're maintaining your happiness. You're actually happy. Meanwhile, these people, they're just going through a downfall right now. I feel like these people are going through a downfall, especially when it comes to spirituality, the spiritual authority, all that type of stuff here. Yeah, they're not really up there. I feel as if they're not really spiritually protected either. These people are not spiritually protected. They're not. They may think they are, but they're not. Their spiritual, you know, hygiene is not really up there, because they need to love themselves. These people need to love themselves a bit more, instead of doubting themselves, instead of being in their head when it comes to their power, when it comes to what they're able to control, when it comes to, you know, manifesting things in their life. They need to be able to hone into that energy. And I'm just getting, it keeps slipping away from them. Whatever, you know, downloads that they're getting from the divine, because they are getting downloads to be better, and it's just like every time they get those downloads, it literally slips from them, and they end up not really listening to themselves, not listening to their better judgment, not listening to the angel in their ear, basically. Okay, like these people are always, they always seem to fall short. Okay, they always seem to fall short. I'm gonna get one more between you and them. What's the difference? That one fell, so you know that's what's up. Doubt. The difference between you and these haters, these karmics, right, is the fact that you do not let the doubt creep in and make you change a certain way. You do not let the doubt creep in and make you feel some kind of way about somebody or about yourself. You do not let the doubt creep in when it comes to your project, your plans. You just do what you have to do, and you move past the doubt instead of letting the doubt control your life, control your day, control your mood. And this is what they do. They let the doubt literally control themselves. They let the doubt control their mood. They let their doubt get in the way of the things that they need to do in their life. They let the doubt control their life. Instead of being like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna move away from this environment because I know this is not good for me. They're like, no, but what if I move out of this environment and then this happens and then I no longer can go back because I cut them off. All that type of stuff here, you know. And then when it comes to getting a download from the divine. 606 on the timer. Whether they know this is a download from the divine or not, okay? I'm just getting the divine be giving them nudges and they just be like, no. They just ignore the nudges. They just be like, nah, that ain't nothing. Or, you know, they're like, nah, it couldn't be. My intuition is wrong. No this, no that. So it's just, you know, the difference, the underlying difference between you and these haters is the fact that you are able to actually be happy in the small things, in the great things, in the big things. Meanwhile, they're just looking for excuses to not be happy, not be okay. They're looking for excuses to not doubt. I mean, to not heal. Meanwhile, they're looking for excuses to not heal, collective. Okay? Which is sad, really. They wish they could get they wish they could get a note out of your playbook, though. I'm definitely getting they wish, collective. They're wishing right now. These haters, naysayers, they're literally wishing they could have a play in your playbook. Okay, 306 on the timer. They're literally wishing like they could get a play in your playbook. You could also have a pet, specifically a cat. Okay. They want to play in your playbook, but they cannot. You made this playbook all by yourself. You made it all by yourself. Now, this could, the person that, you know, that's on the other side of, you know, hating and being a karmic, it could be a masculine figure, possibly an authority figure or a parental figure. Yeah, somebody was on some bullshit, though. Somebody was definitely on some bullshit. Trying to come up against you and shit. Trying to trick you out your spot. And now they're having to, you know, be doubtful of their position. They're having to be doubtful of the people around them. They're having to be doubtful of, you know, their own path now. Return to sender energy real bad. Because who you think you effing with? Who you think you effing with? We have the Wheel of Fortune out here. Listen, all you're gonna keep doing is improving in your life. All you're gonna keep doing is, you know, being met with a lot of good stuff. So for you to decide whether you want it in your life or not. Again, you are able to take control in your life. Meanwhile, these people, they do not know a lick of what being a leader is. They do not know a lick of what it's like to be an authoritative person. They can play that all they want, but they know damn well it's not. It's very fragile. Their position is very fragile on the end. Somebody's position, these people's position is very fragile. And I'm just getting, you've been through it. You've been through it. And they thought that they could come in your way, try and disrupt whatever you got going on. They tried. And it's just like you took those hits and you added it into your playbook. And you're like, oh really? Bet. I've never seen this before. You may add it into my playbook. And now they're like, what the fuck? I thought this would stop the collective from going after the bag. I thought this would stop the collective from being confident. I thought this would stop the collective from, you know, being themselves. I thought this would stop the collective from doing what they have to do. We have literally the Justice with the Ace of Swords, guys. Collective, they thought that they would be able to stop you, man. They thought them doubting that don't even make no sense. So they became haters. They became karmics in your life because they see you doing what you have to do. They try to plant obstacles, try to plant, you know, manipulative tactics, manipulative moves in your life. This could come from a lover too, and it didn't work. And now they're just doubting themselves even more. It started because they were doubting themselves. Now they're doubting themselves even more. Okay. The king of swords coming out for real. So yeah, this could definitely be coming from somebody that you think, that you would think, oh yeah, they're secure in their position. This could be coming from somebody that you would think that, you know, they're good, they got it like that, but whole time behind the scenes they're kind of, you know, going through it here. Somebody's just not really feeling themselves. 6:11 on the clock. Okay, like you would think, yeah, this person has a good head on their shoulder actually, and then you may just want to take a little bit of a closer look, and then you see that this person is actually someone that's very insecure, very doubtful, very not able to make a lot of moves in their life here. Okay, somebody's finances could also be tight. Somebody's finances could not be looking the best right now, which is also why they could be where they are now, making any kind of steps forward, because they need something. They need somebody to, you know, be able to literally pay something for them, pay rent for them, pay something for them. They are in the position that they are not moving forward because it's giving a liability. Okay, it's giving liability at this point. Okay, like somebody is where they are because they don't have a choice, but they actually do have a choice. They just need to take back control of their life. Somebody just needs to take back control of their life. They're basically letting their life be led by somebody else here. I'm getting, and they thought that they'd be able to get a hand off of what you're doing, so that they could run off, make it their own, live life on your own energy, and that's just not the case. They thought that they could do that, and just no, because they see that you are somebody that is of greatness. They see that you are somebody that's great. They see that you are somebody that has a good head on their shoulder. You are embodying your most truest form and some more. You are protected and some more. You know what you got going on. You know what you're doing. And this person saw that, and they thought that they could, you know, come in and use you for, you know, who you are and what you have, and on top of that make you doubt, project their own doubt, insecurities onto you, and that did not work. And you took those hits like a mother flipping champ, and you flip things around. You call back your energy, you call back your power, and you are able to improve how you are meant to. You are able to unlock new doors, go into new opportunities, go into new doors, unlock new paths in your life to live life. You are able to stand strong and tall in what you do in your knowing. You are able to defend yourself when you need to. You are able to sit still when you need to. You have been able to gather a lot of wisdom upon your path here. You have been able to grow out of obstacles and difficulties, especially placed by this person too. And because of that, you are in a position where you are a leader, where you are the boss, where you are able to generate income also for just being who you are. Your frequency is very high right now to really attract finances and attract stability in your life. Meanwhile, somebody else, right, the karmics, the haters, and then this masculine person especially is literally in this energy of being around people that's not really good for them, being in a position where they're not able to control and take lead in their life, and they're also just not really in a good spiritual hygiene right now, and they're just really doubtful of the position that they're in their life right now. They're very doubtful of who they are in their position in their life, and reasons why they cannot move forward is because they have to be there because of some sort of situation financially, because they need somebody or they need something financially here, and somebody just is not really able to move forward or take control of their life because of this thing that they think that they need to live off of. I'm just getting, this person they definitely have the keys and the ways to, you know, move around this, but somebody's just so doubtful of what their possible future could be, to the point that they're just letting life slip away from them, and they're just taking in whatever they have to take in and playing some sort of false role in their life. Somebody could truly be embodying, you know, this energy, the emperor, but right now they're just embodying someone that's yeah, sure, in a good position in life, but things could be better for them, where they actually take control, where they actually take the lead, and not following somebody else's orders, not following after somebody else's steps, not following after somebody else's rules here, basically. And these rules are not even ones that this person wants to abide by, but it's only because they have to, and they do not see a way out. Okay, yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting, actually. So we're gonna see what's going on here. In general, I'm gonna pick one card for you and one card, you know, for the haters, the karmics, to see what's going on in their life here. So for you, it says you could use some self-care time, like now. Schedule it in. Again, like I've been saying, you've been taking care of yourself. You've been putting yourself first. You've been recognizing what you need, what you don't need, especially what you don't need in people, things, all that type of stuff here. You're really just, you know, loving on yourself, caring for yourself, respecting yourself, and you should just keep doing that. Keep putting yourself first here. Keep loving on you in any way that you can. You know, if you're going to the spas, if you're traveling, if you're, you know, giving yourself a sweet treat, if you're doing something that you've been procrastinating on, all that type of stuff here is self-care. So yeah, keep doing that and keep finding ways to, you know, show yourself love in the softest of ways. Okay, period. Now we're gonna see what's going on with the karmics. Be authentic. Anything else is just exhausting. Listen, what I say, somebody's like, these people are definitely not really embodying their true self. They're over here playing Mr. Tough Guy. They're over here playing as if they're the it girl. They're playing at this point. They're playing house at this point. And they need to be real with themselves. They need to stop doubting their true power, their true self, and actually, you know, live in their authenticity, live in their truth, live in their voice. Okay? Because again, anything else is just exhausting. And I could tell that whatever they're going through could be very exhausting for them here. They're not really giving themselves credit for, you know, the life that they've been living. They're not really giving themselves like a good job, I did this great thing today. And instead they're just doubting themselves, doubting the situation, making it worse for their mental to handle the situation. So there's that. I'm gonna get one more for you, collective. I'm gonna get one more for you, collective. Let's see how it goes. I don't feel. No one said this whole life thing was a race. It's okay to slow it down. Listen, you are meant to literally move slow in this season of your life. I keep getting just move slow. Find ways to lighten up and not take everything so seriously. Okay, this is the energy that you need to be in right now. The energy that you need to be in is basically moving slow, taking care of yourself, putting yourself first, polishing your boundaries, making sure that, you know, nobody tries to overstep your boundaries, making sure that nobody tries to get in your way, and if they do get in the way, you put them in their place. You know, when I rhyme, I'm on that time, okay? Because you have the power, you have the authority. If anybody's trying to get in your way, you have the authority to put them in their place, because you got it like that, okay? You got it like that. And you must always speak up for yourself and defend yourself any mother flipping way, right? Okay, period. So you're definitely in an era of your life right now where you're just meant to let things be, let things flow, let things come to you. You're meant to be receiving also in this era, especially because you've been through a lot, especially because you have learned a lot here. Yeah, you're meant to be receiving in this era of your life. Okay, being a receiving energy to the right ones, and your life will just keep on improving. Your life will just keep on getting better. And as for the haters and this specific masculine energy, you know, they just gonna have to, you know, get themselves together and live the way that they actually need to live once they be honest with themselves. Honestly, they just need to be honest with themselves in their situation and listen to themselves, because it's not like the divine is not telling them what's up. Okay, they need to be honest with themselves and believe in themselves the same way that you have been, and that's on period. Okay, and that is your message of the day. For personal and a private reading, be sure to hit up my Enchanted Appointments Unveiled form. Thank you for being here as we align, awaken, and return to the divine light within. With that being said, have a great and awesome day. Deuces.